All right. Code. All right, guys. So the goal has not changed from yesterday. Our job is still to isolate x all by itself. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is still draw that line down the equal sign. That way you know when you cross that, you have to change the signs. Okay, so I want to leave x on the left. So I need to move everything else. What's the first thing you think we need to get rid of? The -3. You actually want to get rid of the term that does not have the x first. So I need to take the 3 to the other side, so we add. Perfect. Plus 3 to both sides. That means we cancel out and we're left with 4x. I told you this should be review. A lot of this should be review right now. 15 plus 3 gives me
18.
perfect. I like that. Divided by 4. She's getting into it now. So Amor says now to get x by itself, I have to divide by 4. This is actually going to come out to be a decimal.
Right, because, yeah.
Anybody know? 4.5.
Hold on, how you do it?
18 divided by 4. Okay. So think about it. You've got 4, 8, 12, 16. So 4 goes in there 4 times. And that takes us to 16. So we have 2 left over. And 2 divided by 4 is 1/2, which is where that 0.5 comes from. Okay.
That shit on it.
You could also think about it, dividing 18 by 2 is 9, and half of 9 is 25.
That might confuse some of these
So,
people.
but
I got. Okay, number 2. Okay, good. Rashawn said -6 -6. So we're left with 1/2 x equals what's -7 and -6? -13.
What you adding?
Yes. Okay. So you can think about this in 2 different ways. Okay. You can think about this as it's -7 minus 6 or -7 plus -6. Okay. Both of those do the same thing. I don't care how your brain works. I just need you to get the right answer. How do I get rid of that 1/2 now? Multiply by the reciprocal. So that means I multiply by 2. Or 2/1, which is just 2. So I'm left with x equals -26. Let's go. You should have seen Seth running down the halls yesterday. Oh, cross country. I kept sticking my leg out and going, hurdle. I'd never do that when you guys were close enough to me.
I would have.
I wouldn't. I'm not that mean. Questions on number 2? Okay, number 3. Uh-oh. Multiply first. Okay, so that x plus 3 is at the top all by itself. So let's get rid of the bottom. So we're dividing by 4. So to move it, I need to multiply by 4. So these cancel. X plus 3 equals
Oh, 28.
28.
And then minus 3.
28. 7 times 4 is 28. Did anybody teach you the really easy way to remember your 9 times tables?
Yeah, I
With
figured.
the fingers? I love it. I think it's fun.
That don't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
They're good.
So remember, this is division. When you see this line, so we're dividing by 4. So when I cross over that line, I have to do the opposite. The opposite of division is multiplication. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, No, that's multiplication.
Wait.
If you prefer to not put that dot there more, you can always go like this, and that means multiplication too. If that makes more
I was
sense
talking
to
about,
you.
I was trying to erase the dot, but you have.
Oh. Marker, she's like, it won't erase. Okay. All right. So now I have x plus 3 equals 28. Let's see. Gusto! What do I have to do to finish this off? Subtract what? 3. Gusto says, let's subtract 3. So then x equals 25. So that's something we need to focus on. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it right. I'll put one X.
Yes.
Yeah, X.
Can you let me finish these next 3 problems? So we can start gluing in and then you can go. Okay. All right. Inequalities. Nothing changes between an equation and an inequality except when we multiply or divide. Okay, so I still use subtraction to move addition. I still use multiplication to get rid of division. The only difference is now you have to pay attention. If you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, that inequality has to flip. Okay, so what's the first thing I should do here then? Subtract 1. Get rid of what doesn't have an x. So we get negative 6x is less than 4. Okay, I didn't multiply or divide, so I don't have to move my sign. It still stays as less than. Okay, remember, it's less than because it's pointing to the left. Okay, now what? Divide by what? Negative 6. So what do I automatically have to do? Okay, so we've got to divide by negative 6, but what happens when I divide by negative? Flip your sign. Okay. Let's leave this one in fraction form. What does negative 4/6 reduce down to? Negative 2/3. 4 and 6 are both divisible by 2. So this reduces down to negative 2/3. Because you can divide the 4 by 2 and you can divide the 6 by 2 to reduce. Most of you don't. And I'm sorry to tell you, they don't go away.
Pretty cool.
I still have to reteach my seniors fractions every year. They're not leaving you.
Oh, now wait till I get grown.
Moore's like, get me out of school so I don't have to touch another fraction.
I just wanna go to the club.
We good? Okay?
I get it. Oh my gosh.
Okay. What do I do here?
Take out the 12.
Take out the 12. How do I take out the 12? Subtract it. Why do I subtract? Because it's positive. Okay? It's positive, so to remove it, we subtract. So 1/3 x is greater than or equal to -10. Good, Daniel. Go, Daniel. Go, Daniel. It's your birthday. Ariana's just back there laughing at me like, oh, you're a crazy person.
Can I take off my shoes? My feet are hurting. They don't stink. I promise you they don't. It's
Huh?
okay.
Okay, how do I get rid of 1/3? Multiply by what, Seth? 3. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3/1, which is just 3. So x, here's my question. Do I flip that sign? No. Why? Because I multiplied by a positive. Okay? If I multiplied by a -3, you would have had to. So what's -10 times 3? -30. Okay? Please be very, very careful with the negatives. Guarantee you see a problem like this, your answer choices are going to be +30 and -30. Because some of you are not going to pay attention and you're going to pick +30. So please, please, please be careful of the negatives. They do anything and everything they can to confuse you or trick you. Y'all are getting Christmas stuck in my head now. Okay? Last one on this sheet. About time. Sabi, what do we get rid of first? 2. How do I get rid of that 2? So x minus 3 is less than -16.
Then you gotta add 3, then it becomes -13.
Ooh. They're like, add 3, and that becomes -13.
How?
But
Cause I thought the other one gonna be. I thought the other one was gonna be.
it's -3.
So 10. I thought it was gonna be a 10.
Which one?
This one is the.
You're multiplying. Oh, you talking about this? Okay. So we're still stuck with going positive number and subtracting, or negative number and going as a positive. Okay, my suggestion to you, this number line is up here for you to use. Now, when you go to do your final exam, this will be covered. I'm not allowed to have anything up on my walls that helps you with your test. So your order of operations, your vocabulary, all of that will be covered. But for now, while we're learning, use this. So according to this, I need to start at negative 16. So I'm here. I need to add 3, which means which way am I going?
That way.
To the right by 3. 1, 2, 3.
So this.
I stop at negative 13. Okay, so it tells you where to start, and then it tells you how to move. So the one before that, when we had 2 and we subtracted 12. So it started at 2, and I needed to subtract 12. So which way do I need to move? To the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now listen, even though this will not be up here when you take your final, you get scratch paper. Draw yourself a number line if you need it. Okay? Be smarter than the test. Okay. Questions? Okay. Reza, you may go and use the restroom while we are gluing this in. And please pull up your pants in the process. Okay, this one gets folded like this. So you can still see the title. Okay, and this will glue in on page 11. Yes.
Did you ever find
Yes, they magically reappeared. I don't care, it happens. I've had kids slip their calculator into their backpack and put them in my pen. I'm so sorry, I took it. Listen, it happens. Just return it, that's all. I'm not that teacher that's gonna go.
What was on page 10?
Page 10 should have been your one-step equation. When you're done gluing this one in, grab out your next full sheet. That's our next one.
No, go. Let the rest get back, man.
Rashawn just asked first.
Oh my God, he always goes to the bathroom. You don't even have to use the bathroom.
Listen, just so you know, if it becomes an everyday habit, you will not leave this room. There is no reason to be going every second period at the same time. And if I'm in the middle of teaching, no one leaves until I'm done. Okay, we all glued in, ready to go? Come on, Rose. You see the other side of this one? We get to translate some words into math. Huh? It wasn't foldable almost like this. No, that's gonna be 12. 10 we had already did yesterday. It was that one.
I put that on a different.
Page. Yeah, yeah. That.
Oh, this is your 11.
Yes,
It's all right.
that should
We
be-
can save this. We can save this. Okay, I got you. Because on this page, it's gonna go this. That way it doesn't stick. Hold on, I got you. Bang. Saved it. Yes. You're welcome. All right. So these ones should be reviewed from what we just did on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we're going to take some words and actually create the equations and then solve them. Okay. This one, when we fold it up, we'll glue in on page 12. Okay. So what's my first step if I have 4b plus 9 equals negative 3? Subtract 9.
Will be a positive number.
So 4b. Okay, think about this now. I start at negative 3, and I need to go negative 9,
Negative 12.
negative 12. So I'm going 9 in the left direction, which leaves it as a negative.
So wait, this is gonna check your workflow, right? Or we got this on this one.
I got you. Hold on. Okay, now what?
You divide by 4.
We need to divide by 4. Oops. So B equals negative 3. B equals negative 3.
Where we at?
Okay. The first one on the top left of this. Okay. All right. So Rashawn just said, what the heck does it mean? Check your work. Okay. You can always check your work to make sure you're correct. So when you solve and you get a value, you take that value and plug it back into that original equation to make sure that it works. So what I mean by that is we take 4, and instead of B, we know that B is negative 3 plus 9. So when I plug it in, what do you get when you take 4 times negative 3? You get negative 12. And then we add 9. Negative 12. Remember, we start at negative 12, and you're moving 9 in the positive direction. So where do I finish? If I start at negative 12 and I go 9 in the positive direction, negative 3. Okay? If this answer, when you plug it in, is the same as this answer at the top, you are correct. So, if you plug in the answer that you solved for, and it comes up to be the answer at the top of your equation, where you originally started, your answer is correct. That's what they mean by check your work. You should never assume that you are correct. Unless you're like Albert Einstein, genius man. Okay. I've been teaching math down here for 5 years. I've been teaching altogether for 10. I still check my work. Okay. That's because the C got cut off. Oh, your numbers got cut off too. All right. Down here. Down here. Maya, what should I do first? Add the 11. Add the 11 to both sides. Stephanie says 24 equals negative 8x.
Ooh, I don't like it like this.
Miss Ayel, what do I do next? Divide by what? Negative 8. Is it because the x is on the other side? Okay, 24 divided by negative 8. Negative 3. Okay, so I heard some of you say, ooh, I don't like this. The x is on the right-hand side. You have every right to rewrite this. Okay, so if you don't like to solve it this way, you can change it and make it negative 8x minus 11 equals 13. Notice I didn't lose any of the signs. On the right-hand side, it said negative 8x, so I brought that all over. It said minus 11, so I brought that over. Equal sign, and moved what's on the left to the right. And guess what? I still add 11. I still get negative 8x equals 24. I divide by negative 8. And I still get x equals negative 3. Doesn't change it. If you prefer the x on the left, switch it. Okay? That's okay. So, check my work. I'm going to plug in negative 3. So, negative 8 times negative 3 minus 11. What's negative 8 times negative 3? Negative times a negative. Positive. So positive 24. Negative 8 times negative 3 is a positive 24. And 24 minus 11 is 13. This matches this. So that means, yes, my answer is correct.
So pretty much just putting your work as reverse in the operation.
Yes. Going in reverse. Absolutely. Trust me, when you get into the harder maths, you're going to want to check your work. Okay. Okay. Sean says minus 11, minus 11. He always says it super fast too. What do I get when I take 29 minus 11? 18. Oh, now we're going to do some fun math. Bigger numbers. Okay, so said multiply by 3. All right. 54. 54. Okay, those of you that need a recap. 18 times 3. Well, 8 times 3 is 24. Carry that 2 over. 3 times 1 is
3.
plus 2 is 5. And again, I can take this and I can plug it into the original and make sure it equals 29. So 54 divided by 3. Whoops, not plus. Oh yeah, plus 11. My bad. Plus 11 should equal 29. Well, 54 divided by 3 is 18. And 18 plus 11 is 29. And again, as long as this matches this, we are good. Last one on this side and then some words. Okay, what's first? Multiply by 3. So you get G plus 9 equals 24. And then we're going to subtract. So what should G finally equal? 15.
Are we allowed?
Yes. 15 plus 9. When we go to check it, well, 15 plus 9 is going to give me 24. And when I divide 24 by 3, I get 8. Questions? Yes, quickly. And then more when we get done with these words. I'll send you.
Look how neat our box is.
All organized. All right, friends. Here we go. I need to take this and I need to write this as numbers, letters, and equal signs. Who's still?
5, subtraction sign, 2x equals 10. Where's the?
Right on the board.
Opposite.
Well, that was right.
Opposite way. Okay, so we're going to break this down. 5 less than. What does that mean?
5.
That means I'm taking away 5. Okay, I'm removing 5. So this means I need to subtract 5. 5 less than. No, it's his planning period. He might be downstairs making copies. Okay, 5 less than. Twice a number. How do I write twice a number?
2x.
2x. Twice a number. A number means you have your variable. So 2x. Amounts. What does amounts mean? Equals. 2, 10. Okay, so there are actually 2 ways you can write this. Okay, 5x. Why would you put 5x?
Because isn't it like, well, not, never mind.
If it said 5 times a number, it would be 5x. Okay. So I'm going to show you both ways to write these because both of them are correct. Okay. So I can literally take it the way I see it. -5 plus 2x equals 10 because your 2x is positive. So that's why that addition sign came in there. Or you can write this as 2x minus 5 equals 10. Both of those are correct. Notice, on this one, my 5 is negative. On this one, my 5 is still negative. My 2x is positive. My 2x is still positive. I still have my equal sign and my positive 10. Okay? It doesn't matter which one you like. Okay? Both of them are the same. So when I go to solve this now, what do I have to do? Add 5. I'm going to do it on both sides just in case you have the other one written instead. Okay, so either way, I still add 5 first. So then I'm left with 2x equals 15.
And your answer is x equals 7.5.
Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 7.5. Questions? The sum of 4 times a number and 6 is 3. The sum. Addition. 4 times a number. 4x. And 6. Well, that's 6. What does is mean? Equals 3. So they want us to take the sum of 4 times x and 6. So 4x plus 6 equals 3. Okay. I heard somebody say minus 6 now. What's 3 minus 6? Negative 3. Divide by 4. Let's leave this one as a fraction. So x is going to equal negative 3/4. Okay. You could also do this as negative 0.75. Okay. 3/4 is 0.75. Think about it. 4 quarters. 3 of them is 75 cents. You always do better when I talk about money. Y'all are like, you need money. All right. Oh, sorry. Negative 3/4 or negative 0.75. Okay, let's see what we do with this. Leia needs to make a long distance phone call. The first minute costs $2 and then 25 cents for every minute after that. How long can Leia talk on the phone if she has $8? Oh man. Here we go. So what don't we know? What is my unknown? What do I need to make X? How long is she on the phone? How many minutes? So X is going to equal my minutes. Okay, so it says the first minute she's going to be charged $2 flat. Every minute after that, she's going to be charged 25 cents. What you got, Steph?
2 minus 0.25x equals 8? No.
2 minus 0.25x. Okay, but she's not losing 25 cents per minute after that. She's gaining it. So not subtract. You want to add. Okay, so right now we're talking, and I'm going to write this up here so we can make some mistakes and fix it before we write it. Okay, so she's getting charged $2. Okay, after that, she's getting charged 25 cents for every minute after the first one. She's not getting charged 25 cents for the first one. So how do I write that? If X is my minutes, but I don't want to take into consideration that first minute. I only want the second minute and the third minute and the fourth minute. Who's still? What you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say the 19 minutes.
What?
And by counting minutes.
He's already going.
That's
Who's playing on my phone? Goodness gracious. All right, we're gonna ignore what Husta said yet, because he's already solving things. Okay, if X is the minutes,
Wait.
okay, and she's being charged, let's say she,
Equals $1.
okay, hold on. Let me go with this. So, let's say your answer is 20 minutes. Okay, she's been on the phone for 20 minutes. So, this takes care of the first minute. So, how many minutes is she getting charged 25 cents for? 19 of them. She's not getting charged for all 20. Well, if X represents all of the minutes, I actually need to use X minus 1.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If not, tell me. We can talk through it again. Okay?
Do we write
So-
that here?
We'll get there. I just want to, we're trying to brainstorm right now. Okay, so let me give you another one. So she's talking for 75 minutes. So this is 1 minute, which means here I only need 74 minutes. So instead of using all the minutes, I want one less than that. Okay, you're not getting charged $2.25 for the first minute. You're only getting charged 2.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
A little bit better now? Anybody else still completely lost at this point? Rizzo, head up, please. Okay, we know that she wants to talk and only spend $8. So your final equation then is this. So 2 plus 25 cents for every minute after that equals 8. So what do you want to do first for this one? With order of operations, what should I do first? Multiply this through. So I need to distribute 25 cents to both of these. So this is 2 plus 0.25 x minus 0.25 equals 8. Okay. Now what should I technically do next? Combine like terms. Okay, so I started with $2 and I'm taking away 25 cents. So what do I have? $1.75. Okay. So now what? Subtract 175. Sorry, I've got to move over here. I ran out of room. So on the right-hand side, you started with $8. I'm taking away $1.75. So you're left with what? How much money do you still have? You started out with $8 and I stole $1.75 from you.
We would have
$6.25. And then we divide by 0.25. This one is a lot. Okay. This one is a lot. So I think we're gonna stop on notes here today. 'Cause it's-
How much time we got?
Give it back.
Like, hour.
We still got 20 minutes.
What's class? I do the bathroom.
Like this,
Another.
I'm gonna finish with this one and then I'm gonna let you go. So when I'm dividing this by 0.25, they want to know how many quarters do you have that make $6.25? How many quarters are in a dollar? 4. So if you have 4 quarters for $6, 4 times 6. So $6 is technically 24 quarters. Then you got 25 cents on top of that, so technically you have 25 quarters. So your answer should be 25.
All that.
Go.
Woo! Did I make your brains hurt today?
Yes. Right.
Can I go use the bathroom?
Okay, first off, she asked first, and as long as we have 10 minutes left, I will send you, but if she's not back, we can't send anybody else the last 10 minutes of class. Okay. You good? You can go ahead and go. Okay. So I need you to fold this one in half.
Oh, we're not doing the bottom?
Nope.
It's too complicated, babe.
Well, I'll make your brain hurt a little bit more on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay? You're going to fold this one in half, just like you fold the other one, and glue it in on page 12.
Like this?
If they're like.
You guys are going to work on that right now. Yes. No, I didn't.
No, she said as long as they're in